Cards are dealt. Casey, you in? I'm in. Dolan, you in? Yeah. Hurley, in? Yeah, I'm in. Hall? Pass. Hall pass. Will not be seen today, so that we can bring you the Loren Wally Morning Show. The Loren Wally Show. Yes, sirree. It's the 143rd annual Loren and Wally St. Patrick's Day Show. Actually, it's only the 142nd, but so what? We lied a little. Starring Lauren Owens and Wally Bride. Like corned beef and cabbage and too many raisins and diarrhea, these guys go together. John Doyle, rather than being in the spirit, he has the spirits be in him. News and information as only a fine young lass with a touch of sass and a giant hair across her neck could give with Sue Coates. Traffic that'll have you cursing to the high heavens with Hank Morris. And Longboy the producer as Johnny John Brian Seamus Liam O'Brien, the guy with the world's most Irish name. Now, get set for the most Irish show that's ever been on in the history of radio. Yeah, it's the Loren and Wally Morning Show on 105.7 FM, WROR.
Yes. Good morning, and welcome. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Loren and Wally Morning Show is on the air here at 105.7 WROR, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you today.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
The old train just went through. How you being?
I'm being fine, and you?
Fine, all day long, you're going to be hearing people thinking they're Irish.
I know.
And I wonder what the people from Ireland think when they must just go, they're a bunch of blithering idiots, you know.
Hey, Lauren knows. He's been over there.
Yeah?
He's been there on St. Patrick's.
I was in Dublin on St. Patrick's Day.
Were you really?
Yes, I was.
Wow.
I ran into more Boston cops in Dublin on St. Patrick's Day than anybody else. It was amazing.
Yeah.
They were there for the parade.
Sure.
But did the people get into it?
Yeah, the people were into it.
Oh, okay.
But it's a holiday over there.
Yeah, but I don't think they celebrate in Ireland as much as we do here.
Well, that's because there are more Irish people living here than there are in Ireland.
Right. There are.
Plus, there's not much of a difference between St. Patrick's Day and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's
every day,
right.
Every day in Ireland.
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day.
Well, good morning. It's Hank Morris who stepped into the studio this morning.
Well, you all look very, very festive with your green on today, but Wally, I don't think St. Patrick wore a paisley vest. St. Patrick's Day. I'm just saying.
Paisley.
Well, that was the English part of it.
That was the English part.
The British part. Yeah.
Okay, Sue, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. Wow, you guys do get into this St. Patrick's Day thing.
You don't? You don't do No?
Just the partying portion of it. The green, not my color.
Well, things we have coming up in the program today. We got the Game of the Day email update. Men from Maine. We're actually thinking about breaking out the old time machine, the Wayback machine, and going back in time to meet up and see if we can find St. Patrick himself. Tidy. That'll be fun. Now, Wally's, you got a big Wally-ology for us.
Yes, we're going to tell you how long it takes the alcohol to get into your system after you have a drink. We're also going to tell you how long it takes the all the nicotines to get into your system after you take a puff of smoke. It's amazing how fast these things get to your head.
So if you're having a smoke with your drink this morning, you're going to really want to hear this.
I'll also be looking for your help this morning as we're trying to come up with the greatest all-time Irish hit parade tunes.
Wow.
I'll explain this a little later. In the meantime, let's get things started here.
It's a theme show.
It is a theme show. 60s, 70s, 80s, right here from 105.7 WROR. Against the Wind's the name of the song. It's Bob Seger, Silver Bullet Band here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the question is, are you ready to play the Loren and Wally Game of the Day? Well, on the line this morning is Janet Lofgren, who's from Middleborough, Massachusetts.
Right.
Good morning, Janet. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
Morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Same to you.
Now, are you prepared for the game?
I think so.
Okay, today's game is the Saint game.
The Saint game?
Yeah, since it is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
We give you clues, and your job is to name that saint. Okay, here we go. Roger Moore's first TV series was called
The Saint.
The Saint. Whoa! That is correct. Okay. A kid's aspirin.
St. Joseph.
Yeah, that is correct. A clothing designer.
And it's got Saint in it?
Mm-hmm.
Could be anywhere.
Give you
right?
the first.
Yeah, could be anywhere in it. Yeah.
Could be like
Could be Eve something.
like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Saint,
Saint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eve Saint Adam.
Yeah. No, that's not it. No.
Eve.
Saint Laurent.
Laurent, she's
Okay.
at 7.
Okay, she got it. Okay. It's a street in the Back Bay.
Oh, you got to know the city to know that.
No idea on that one?
no, I
No. That's St. Botolph Street. Okay, a football team in the National Football League.
The Saints.
That is correct. A hospital in Boston.
Boston?
St. Mass General.
Nope.
St. Deaconess?
Nope, not St. Deaconess.
St. Beth Israel.
No.
St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth's was what we're looking for. Okay, that's enough. You got a prize coming this morning. A $50 gift certificate to Uno Chicago Grill. With Uno's new menu, you can dig into something really good without feeling really guilty. New flavorful choices right next to Deep Dish Classics. So treat yourself good and treat yourself right at Uno's, Janet. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Did I say welcome? You're more than welcome.
You said welcome.
You're more than welcome, and have a wonderful day. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Loren and Wally, mornings from 5:30 until 10 on 105.7 WROR.
Hank, how much of you is Irish?
I'm about half Irish. My grandmother was an O'Leary, her mother was an O'Shea, and my great-grandmother was a Burke.
Doesn't your brother married an Irish girl,
My
right?
sister-in-law
From
Denise
Ireland.
is from Cork City.
Yeah.
And I've been there, and I've kissed the Blarney. In fact, I French kissed the Blarney Stone. I figured I traveled all that way.
You know what they do to the Blarney Stone.
I care less. I wipe that down nice and clean.
Yeah, okay.
Although the crazy thing about the Blarney Stone is you have to lean back off the building, and they have like an 82-year-old guy holding you down to try and secure you.
Well, how far down
Sue's
would
used
you
to that.
fall if you did? If you fell, how far down would you fall?
So's Jody.
Probably 150 feet.
Really? It's like
Okay.
a well?
Well, now how much Irish are you, Tom?
I'm half Irish, half Scotch.
Okay.
My mother is Scotch, and my dad's side is Irish.
Okay. Wally, how much?
I also have, my mother believes, because I'm dark Irish. I am. I'm dark Irish. So there's Spanish blood
It's because you
somewhere.
go to a tanning
in
bed.
me. No, it's not.
because you're always under a tanning bed.
No,
That's
the
right.
dark Irish because the Spaniors came over.
Spanish invasion.
They had their way with
They
your
had their way
grandmother.
with no, not Nana.
Senora Doyle.
Grampy couldn't even have his way with Nana.
How much Irish?
3/4.
3/4. Hey, Long Boy, how much Irish? Half Irish. Wow. Are we the only non-Irish people in this room?
I guess so.
Oh, wait a minute.
We're the only ones that aren't drunk this morning.
No. I'm
Owens?
I'm half German and half Welsh.
Well, Welch, that's close enough.
See,
Yeah.
what my family does, it invades your coal mine and takes all your coal. Really?
I'm 100% Utah.
Really?
Utah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Boston, you say Utaran.
Hey, good morning. This
Utard.
is Loren Wally. How you doing this morning?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, is there anyone the Irish didn't have sex with?
Oh, this is a rough crowd. Okay, thanks for calling. Have a great day.
Loren and Wally, mornings from 5:30 until 10 on 105.7 WROR.
They were celebrating St. Patrick's Day just a little bit early in Colorado on Sunday afternoon. Police were blocking off most of the intersection while they proceeded they processed the scene of a drunk driving accident. As one woman drove by after sitting in traffic waiting to get through the intersection, she yelled at the cops for blocking traffic. Told them, "Hey, stupid place to block traffic." So one of the cops pulled her over. She was booked for DUI.
They smelled booze on it.
Well,
Stupid place to block traffic. You stupid cop.
now, if there's nothing wrong with you, well, if you're not inebriated.
Yeah, I think.
Or if you
You
just,
can say something.
can you say something?
Yeah, I
think
and
so.
they can't do anything?
I think so. But, they could kind of like look at your car and see, okay, is the inspection sticker, is there anything wrong with that car?
Okay. But for just doing that.
I don't think there's anything.
Well, if there's
it's freedom of speech, Wally.
police officer out there, maybe you could tell us, that ever happen? Has that ever happened to you? And did you think about giving them a ticket?
Yeah, give us a call,
What would you give
617.
him a ticket for?
disturbing the peace, maybe? I don't know. You could come up with some kind of
though?
wacky.
If I had my way, there would be something to the effect of disrespect of the law. You know.
Wow.
No, I'm saying.
Wow, that's wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
That just blows me away.
Now we know he's already been drinking this morning.
How many coffees have you had?
No, I'm just saying.
We're talking about a guy who doesn't just park in handicap zones, he double parks in handicap zones.
What I'm saying is, I mean, a law maybe I should have clarified it by saying a law enforcement person.
Yes.
I mean, you actually have the right to walk up to a cop and call him whatever you want.
Whatever. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Blah, 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 and it's within your rights. There should be a law that says you can't do that. That's disrespect.
I can't believe you're saying that.
Why?
I mean, I agree with you, but it's not you.
It's like coming out of your mouth.
I have a lot of friends that are stupid-ass cops.
Oh, we have Jeannie on the line. Good morning, Jeannie. How are you this morning?
We're very good, thank you. And you?
Good, thanks.
Quite well on top of the morning. What do you have for us here?
We have a Father O'Malley story.
A Father O'Malley. Okay.
No.
Father O'Malley was walking through the center of town one day, and he sees little Tommy Doyle coming out of the bakery with a loaf of bread in one arm and his hand in his pocket. And he says, "Little Tommy Doyle, how are you today?" And he says, "Hello, Father." And Father O'Malley says, "I see you've got the staff of life in your hand. What have you got in the other?" And little Tommy Doyle says, "Bread."
Loren Wally. Bada bing, bada boom. Well, thank you very much, Jeannie. Oh, well, look, amazing. Father O'Malley's here,
Good morning,
Jeannie.
everybody.
Well, good morning, Father O'Malley.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to one and all. I got one for you.
Okay.
So Jeannie's driving down the street in a sweat because she had an important meeting, couldn't find a parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
So she looks up to heaven, she says, "Lord, take pity on me. If you find me a parking place, I'll go to Mass every Sunday for the rest of my life and give up Irish whiskey."
Mm-hmm.
Miraculously, a parking place appeared. Mm-hmm. Jeannie says, "Never mind, I found one."
Okay, well, thanks for calling.
Thank you very much.
Loren and Wally, mornings from 5:30 until 10 on 105.7 WROR.
Okay, Wally is all ready, ladies and gentlemen. It is time now. This is a Wally-ology special report.
All right, we're going to talk about the speed with which things that you ingest get to your brain.
Yes.
Okay? So let's start, because it's St. Patrick's Day, we'll start with alcohol. Researchers in Germany, they took 15 men and women, they made them lie down and put brain scanners on them, and then they made them drink the equivalent of 2 pints of beer.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Of 2 pints of beer?
Yeah. How long do you think it takes from the time the beer goes through over your lips to get into your brain?
Into your brain. Okay, it's got to go to the brain.
3 minutes.
No. 6 minutes.
Oh. Wow.
So if you live 5 minutes from the bar, you can get home no problem.
You're good to go.
Speed.
You're good to go.
Speed when you're
That
going
is
out.
pretty fast, though.
Did they say how long before it takes effect on your bladder?
No, it doesn't say anything about that. All right.
6 minutes.
Smoking cigarettes. How long does it take for the effect of the puff of cigarette that you go like that?
Yep.
How long does that take to get to your brain?
20 seconds.
No, you suck at this game. It takes 3 seconds.
3 seconds?
3
No
seconds.
kidding. 3
Yes,
seconds.
3
Wow.
seconds. And finally, salt. How long do you think it takes when you have some salt
Instant.
for the effects to get to your brain?
No, I think an hour and a half.
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
What an incredibly interesting report, and thank you.
Wait a minute.
Thank you for letting me tell you.
Wait a minute.
What?
You taste it, don't you?
You taste it.
Okay.
But
so
the
what else?
effects
Why?
of it. He's talking
No,
about
he's
the
talking about the
sodium
effects.
effect.
The effects
Yeah,
in
the
your brain.
effects to go to your brain.
Do you feel any effects of salt when you have it?
Some people
Yes,
do.
I do.
What's the effect of salt?
I get all itchy.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Now you're just lying. You're not, not only is your
Okay,
What is the effect?
Where do you
feel of
itch?
salt?
No, I'm kidding about that. But the effect would be, I guess, your blood pressure goes up. I know
Yeah.
that.
Yep. And some
Okay,
people
but you don't feel that.
Yes, you can.
Let me ask you this: if you eat an ear of corn, a buttered corn.
Okay, now we
You
didn't.
had corn on the cob, and you salted it. Okay, you salted it. I don't care if you heavily salted or lightly salted. Do you feel your blood pressure going up after you've eaten?
Well, that's one of the problems with blood pressure. You can't tell when your blood pressure goes up.
It's the silent killer, right?
That's exactly right.
Wrong that report.
Okay. Excuse me. Have we wasted enough time?
Wrong that report.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a slight addendum to the Wally-ology report this morning. And we need your cooperation on this. So call us at 617-931-1057. And we want you to tell us, how long does it take your brain to realize that a Wally-ology report is totally useless? Okay, this is 617-931-1057. It's just kind of a...
I want to know if you're drinking a salted margarita, smoking a cigarette, how long your brain takes to process it.
Okay, this is Charlene's online. How long did it take you to realize that a Wally-ology report was totally useless, Charlene?
Probably about 4 minutes.
Really? 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Okay,
Wow.
pretty quick. Okay, thanks a lot. Dave, how about you? How long?
As soon as I hear that little bit of intro music.
You mean you don't even have to get into it, huh?
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Nancy, how long did it take you anyway? Hello, Nancy, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right.
It takes me about a microsecond.
A microsecond. Thank you very much. Okay. Good morning. This is the Loren Wally-ology report line. Who's this?
This is Matt.
Yeah, how long does it take you, Matt?
Today about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Thank you very much, Matt. Okay.
Right.
Okay, and Bill, we got Bill's on the line. How long, Bill?
It takes me 1 second after you announce that it's coming up.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, we got the point.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to go talk to any more people about this,
No
Wally?
need to go on.
Okay. Wally, are you ready for this report?
Which one are we doing now?
You're going to do the one about the tongue
the gross.
The gross thing.
Yes.
Okay. This is kind of a medical update, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of report that makes you wince. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, 25-year-old Jonathan Batten of Spartanburg, South Carolina, breaking up with his 21-year-old girlfriend, Casey Crump. They had lived together. He started moving out. As he was moving out, they kept yelling at each other. Finally, at one point, he stuck his tongue out at her to taunt her.
Oh.
And just then, she turned around and bit down on the tongue ring that he had in his tongue.
Oh.
She bit down on it and ripped it out of his mouth with her teeth.
Oh.
That split his tongue in half.
You now speak with forked tongue.
He was writhing on the ground in pain, and she grabbed a pair of jumper cables and started whipping him with them.
Oh. And he said to her, "Come on, don't start anything else."
Yeah. So, anyway, he hasn't been arrested. A sheriff's deputy said, "That's okay. This is South Carolina."
Wow.
So that's the way the story ends.
But now that he's got the forked tongue, at least he's qualified to go to law school.
Where's the disgusting part of the story?
Yeah, we'll come up with that in a minute, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Great Corned Beef Controversy Report.
Hey, check this out. They think now that corned beef and cabbage really isn't from Ireland.
Where is it from then?
Well, let me tell you. Corned beef comes from a cow. And the Irish, way back in the old days, they didn't have a lot of cows around. The cow was like...
They only needed one.
Pretty high-end product, you know. So they had pigs. They had a lot of pigs. So an Irish staple dish for most Irish was bacon and cabbage.
You want
or pork chops and cabbage.
I always thought corned beef was pig.
You did?
Yeah.
Why would they call corn?
I know that.
Beef. Then?
Okay, but why do they call it? Why do they call it corned when it's not corned? It's brined.
Well,
why don't they call it brined?
That's what they call that process of.
Yeah.
You know, you put it in a salt
the corn?
solution.
Where does the corn part come in?
I don't know.
You don't have corn with it?
I don't care.
We don't call your partner Wally Corn.
That's an excellent point.
So anyway, you want to know where the corned beef actually got started?
In New York. I could absolutely
in New York.
No, in New York City.
Oh, New York City.
Yep.
Really?
They would feed.
They're taking credit.
The immigrant Irish workers, construction workers, were building New York City, and to lure them in to the bars, they would offer free lunch, and they served corned beef and cabbage. But you had to buy your drinks. You know, you had to buy a few beers or a couple of shots.
Yeah.
And then they'd give you the corned beef and cabbage.
Cheap bastards.
So it's a New York thing after all.
So what about the potatoes, though? I mean.
Well, they didn't have any potatoes left because that's why they came here in the first place. They ran out of potatoes.
Oh, that's right, the famine.
Yes.
That was great because what Tom did was he took a really boring report by Wally
and made it longer.
That was great radio, guys.
Yeah, when you guys work in tandem like that, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And let me see, we have Maureen is on the line with us this morning. Good morning, Maureen. How are you this morning?
Good morning to you. How are you all today?
We're fine, thank you.
We're fine.
Would you be Irish by any chance, Maureen?
I am. I
Good
say.
for you. Well, happy St. Patty's Day. What do you got for us?
What is the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral?
Gosh, I don't know. What is the difference?
One less drunk.
I see. Well, Maureen, that was highly insensitive on your part. But
I think that's funny.
Well, thanks for calling and have a great day. Okay.
See ya.
Okay. Now I understand. As you know, the Governor Patrick has a special, Governor Deval Patrick joke line.
Oh yes.
And I understand that he's set up a special joke line for St. Patrick's Day today. So if we all got a moment here, I thought I'd go ahead and call the governor now and see if we can.
Oh, okay. You think it might be a St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I would think so, yeah. Hopefully. Here.
Good morning, and happy St. Patrick's Day, and thank you for calling the Governor Deval O'Patrick joke line, the official joke line of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Here's today's joke. Two guys are sitting at opposite ends of the Erie pub late one night when one of them looks up and says to the other one, "How's it going? You from around here?" The other guy says, "Uh-huh, Dorchester High." He says, "Me too. Where'd you go to school?" "Me too, Dorchester High." He said, "What year did you graduate?" He said, 1980. "Wow, same year as me. What street did you live on?" He said, 7th Ave. "Holy cow, me too. What did your dad do for a living?" "He was a plumber." The other one says, "My God, mine too." Just then another guy at the bar says to the bartender, "What's going on?" He says, "Not much. The Foley twins are drunk again." Thank you for calling the Governor Deval O'Patrick joke line.
Okay, so brand new Men from Maine coming up here. I think now the Men from Maine actors had a very difficult time because this is a special St. Patrick's Day episode, and so it was very difficult to get into the character without turning into an Irish accent. It was finally accomplished. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome to another thrilling episode of the exciting adventures of Men from Maine. As today's section-packed drama begins, Lemon-Ephus are serving as part-time volunteer firefighters when they get the word that $3 Dewey's is on fire. They rush to the scene, and upon arriving at $3 Dewey's, the building is fully engulfed, but they rush in anyway.
Oh, my God, Ephus. The most Irish guy in town, Patio Furniture, sitting at the bar. We better go rescue him.
Oh, all right.
They rush to the side of Patio Furniture, who is sitting at the bar with 5 shots lined up in front of him, and we hear...
Say, Patty, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. Why?
Well, how did this fire start?
How the hell should I know? It was in flames when I got here.
Join us again soon for another thrilling episode of the exciting adventures of Men from Maine. Right here on the Loren Wally mornings. Okay, Sue, are you ready? You're not afraid of the Wayback?
I'm not afraid of it. No, let's go.
Makes your skin younger.
Does it really? Yeah.
Okay. Anything to do to look younger.
We should go back to BC.
Okay. No, we can just go to, how about we go to UNH? Okay.
Geez.
Are you ready? Everybody in? Okay, strap in. Here we go. Okay, we're now in the Wayback machine, and what's the date we have to go to? 420?
420.
Wow, that's way back, isn't it?
Yeah,
420. Okay, going back to, ignition. Up, here we go. We're going back. Boy, oh, what a rush that is.
Wow, look how young Sue is.
Hi, guys.
Okay. Wow, she doesn't have that scaly appearance anymore. That's amazing.
Hey, guys, bite me.
Well, we are in Ireland. It's 420, and
well, that's this guy.
He's screwing around with some snakes over there. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Hello.
Hello, are you St. Patrick?
You got him. What can I do?
We're Loren Wally, and this is Sue over here.
Well,
Hi.
Hi, young lassie. Oh, what I could do with you.
Okay, listen, St. Patrick.
Hey. Come on.
Wow.
Welcome to 420. 420 is very famous. We call it the smoking of the green.
Really? You've been in Ireland since 4:05. Is that right?
Yeah, I tried to get here at 4:01, but the freaking bus was late.
Okay, so now what are you exactly? He's a funny saint. Okay, what are you doing here with these snakes?
Driving them out of here. That's what I'm supposed to do.
You're driving the snakes out of Ireland.
I have to. As you know, we don't have the designated driver here. I haven't invented the breath-olyzer here.
The breath-olyzer. That's an Irish joke, isn't it?
Of course it is. You're in Ireland, you idiot.
Okay.
Hey, I tell you what. I got a little poem for you before I drive these snakes. Get in there. Go be a lawyer.
Okay. You have a poem?
I got a little poem for you.
Okay, well, yeah, we'd like to hear a poem.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
There was a man named McSweeney who poured some gin on his weenie. To make it more couth, he added vermouth and slipped his wife a martini.
Okay, that's enough, Rowdy.
Loren and Wally, mornings from 5:30 until 10 on 105.7 WROR.
Hey, Wally, here's just a little heads up. The next time your wife's former lesbian lover wants to spend the night over at the house, I think at Dateline Chicago, a woman and her current husband let the woman's former lesbian lover stay at their place for a night. Turned out to be a bad idea.
Really?
They woke up in the middle of the night, and they found the lesbian ex standing over them with a butcher knife. And she was talking on the phone, on her cell phone.
You got to decide which side you're on.
And she's saying, I may go to prison for murder, and he woke up, and he tackled her, and his wife ran and hid in the closet. He got the knife away from her. So, it's one of those pictures from, like, Psycho or something like that.
Oh, one of those pictures from Psycho.
Exactly.
Wally has a new sound effect machine, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, I was supposed to do that earlier in that story.
Could we hear the Psycho? Very good, Wally. Well, let me see what the canoe's doing out there.
Mother! You set that up for 7 minutes during the song, and he couldn't come in at the right time.
How we doing out there?
And I thought the wife was going to tackle her, and then they were going to have this crazy threesome.
No, they didn't. Now, see, that would have been like a women's prison movie.
Right.
Thank you very much, Wally. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Mr. Everything. It's the Bob O'Ryan Report.
Hey, Bob Ryan.
Well, good morning, Bob O'Ryan. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, top of the morning.
The top of the morning to you.
Are you 100% Irish?
I am the thoroughbred. 3 of my 4 grandparents were born there. In fact, the only one who wasn't was Patrick Ryan himself.
Really?
Wow.
He made up for that by marrying Bridget. And Patrick married Hannah on the other side, and here I am.
There you go.
I'm 4/5 Irish and 1/5 Scottish.
Okay. So you're in Cleveland for the NCAAs,
Yeah,
right?
I'm in Cleveland. We've got Ohio State, Syracuse.
Wow.
Who do you like to win it all, Bob?
Well, I'm picking the Pitt Panthers, although that's not a rational thought. Because they generally implode in the tournament, even though they are always a very good regular season team. But I think they have the easiest road to the Final Four. Their bracket is the easiest, I think, by far. And I think that maybe their time has come. But I think that if everybody might, if you go on the theory of if everybody were to play their A game, well, the best A game belongs to Ohio State. The problem is in this tournament, you have one bad night and you go home. Mm-hmm. And you don't always bring your A game. But they have the most components of anybody, Ohio State.
Did you see the president make his picks yesterday?
I didn't see. I read that he Frady catted his way with 4 number ones.
Yeah.
Frady catted his way.
Yeah, I mean that's not you can't have a bracket picking 4 number ones.
How about BU in Kansas, though?
Well, it's a cannon fodder time. It's nice that they got in the tournament, and here's what I always recommend. I always recommend that you have a photographer ready from the school paper, and if you get up 2-0, you take a picture of that scoreboard and you put it in the paper the next day.
That's perfect. Really?
BU's will have.
Brilliant.
BU 2, Kansas nothing.
Okay. Now, what we would really like to chat with you about this morning is dice game.
Well, he's always going to be a topic of great debate. I mean, we've settled in. We've had 4+ years to look at him. The other day he was sensational. Why was he sensational the other day? Because he got ahead on the count. Because he started out 0-1, 0-2, and stayed there. Even because Daisuke is the master of going from 0-2 to ball 4.
It's true.
But when he gets ahead and stays there, he's very good. He's not hittable for the most part. When he gets himself in trouble, it's because he's walking the ballpark, and he does it far too often. So he's not consistent. And but let's put it this way: he's the 5th starter. Yep. There's a lot worse 5th starters out there. I mean, he's exasperating and he's fun to talk about. But when it's all said and done, he's probably as good a 5th starter as there is out there.
And think of the money we pay to have a 5th starter.
I know, $102 million.
My
50-some off the top for the fee, and then the salary is quite modest. Actually, it was the $50,000 posting fee, the $50 million. I mean,
Right. Well, so, do you think that they would shop him as trade?
I think they'll entertain offers, but they still would need right now the 5th starter, if they didn't have him, I suppose it would be good old reliable Tim Wakefield, except the problem with Wake is that he breaks down now, and that, he had 19 starts last year. He has back troubles that come up, and he's going to be 45 in August. I mean, sooner or later it has to end, so you can't count on him to be that guy. Right now he's the 5th starter, and I suspect he'll remain that way all year.
Okay. Now, do you have any shameless plugs you'd like to leave us with?
No, I might not be plugging for quite a while because of the NCAA tournament. I'm going to be on the road most of the next 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And so, the thing about these shows is if you want the dough, you got to show.
We'll be reading you, though.
I'm not in a position to show for a while, so I'm going to have to exist on my salary. God, that's really weird.
Okay, well, there you go.
But I do have you guys.
That's true. That's true. A major supplement to your income.
We may be doing one of our famous early morning West Coast deals next.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
I expect to be in Anaheim if UConn advances by winning 2 games here. I'm going to go with them to Anaheim.
Hey, if you want to kill a little time while you're in Cleveland, go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I've been there. It's time to go back. I'm sure you always have changing exhibits, but I highly recommend it.
No, I think it's great too.
Okay. Well, have a good one. We'll talk to you next week.
I just got to point out, did you see what Alice Cooper did at his induction in New York the other day? He had a live boa on his neck.
Did he?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Throw that one out there.
Okay, well, thank you.
See you later. There's Bob Ryan, 105.7 WROR. 60s, 70s, 80s, all in one place. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, celebrity birthdays. You might have one too.
Okay, what do you got for celebrities?
Celebrity birthdays.
Celebrity birthdays today. Rob Lowe is 47 today. He was the guy on the West Wing, Sam Seaborn. And he's Callista Flockhart's dead husband on Brothers and Sisters. It's a role he's very proud of. Let's see. We have Mia Hamm is 39 years old today. That's Nomar's wife. Yes.
Yeah.
Patrick Duffy from the show Dallas is 62 today. Dallas. Hey, you know who's having a birthday today also?
Who's having a birthday today
also? Kurt Russell's 60th birthday today.
Okay, Kurt Russell's 60th birthday today. Okay.
Goldie Hawn. Kurt Russell. Overboard.
Oh, what a great movie.
Oh, here's another one. Gary Sinise is 56 today. You remember him in Forrest Gump.
What are you doing here?
Well, thought I'd try out my sea legs.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, I loved him. And that's... I got one more.
Okay, well, hang on. Let me hit a couple of birthdays here.
Okay.
People sharing birthdays today. Let me see. We got... Hey, guys, sorry I forgot to let you know what time we are in the car this morning, around 6:45. We're on the way to school. That's from Debbie Jameson. She wants to say, happy birthday. My son and I listen to you every morning. Can you give a shout-out to him on St. Patrick's Day? It's his 17th birthday. So, Debbie's son, happy birthday today. And what's your other birthday here?
Okay, we have one more that we want to celebrate today. And this is the birthday of the real Layla. Patty Boyd is 67 today. She was George Harrison's ex. She's Eric Clapton's ex. And they sing, Eric sings about her right here at WROR.